the strings. Oh, he cracked. He cracked. And he spends it. Wow, surprise. Into the Big Bang. No, not even. Oh, but he got opened up. And Chris G is your Texas Showdown 2018 Dragon Ball FighterZ champion.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Born Free here. We are at SCR 2018. I'm here with my man, Chris G. How the hell are you?
I'm pretty good. I mean, things could be a little bit better, but I guess at this point, you know, I'm just trying to enjoy the rest of the weekend.
That's true. We're going to try and keep this one on a positive note. We're going to try and keep this on a positive note, even though a few negative things have happened. But I want to talk to you about Dragon Ball, because the last time we spoke, we talked about a bunch of stuff, but Dragon Ball wasn't out. And, you know, I've sort of spoken to a lot of people about Dragon Ball, and you know, you are definitely one of the top players out there in Dragon Ball. So let's talk about it. When the game was first announced, were you excited about it? Can you remember when it was first announced? Remember it was that big E3 thing? And like...
Oh, yeah, definitely. When I first started seeing, like, the way the game was actually going to play, because I played most of the Dragon Ball Z games growing up, you know, including like Final Bout, you know. I even played like Super Dragon Ball Z, which was the Street Fighter equivalent of Dragon Ball Z, which came out for PS2. Wow. You know, and I really liked those games. Budokai 1, 2, 3, Tenkaichi series, I didn't like it all. Okay. But yeah, no, I was super excited to see like they were going back to that type of, you know, gameplay. And yeah, like I already knew like it's kind of like one of those things where you see a game about to get announced, and you could already picture in your head what you're gonna play and how you're gonna play. You know, so I was like, that was already what I was thinking about. I was super excited.
Did you like? I mean, like as a player, when you saw the gameplay initially, did you have any concerns, or were you like, yeah, I think this is cool, or because you play a lot of different games, you know, so I'm sure you break it down like really, really quickly. Because some people, like when they first saw it, they were like, "Oh, I don't know." Marvel was happening at the same time, and some people were like, "Marvel seems a little bit more." I know you're a fan of the Marvel, right? Yeah. A little bit more freedom. Like, how do you feel about the gameplay in general? Like, do you enjoy it as much as Marvel, or?
Well, yeah, okay. So Marvel Infinite, right? Like coming from Marvel 3, going into Marvel Infinite. Like, the game was stagnant. Like, I felt like I wanted more, you know? And then the whole Dragon Ball Z thing comes out, and I'm just like, okay, we're going back to 3v3. Yeah. We've got assists again. You know, it's like, oh, snap. So, like, Marvel Infinite's out, but I feel like I'm not playing a versus game, you know? So, like, when I saw that Dragon Ball Z was coming out, and I saw the way that was going to operate, you know, similar to Marvel 3, I was just like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna get in there. Like, so for the gameplay wise, I think it's good. I think it's a solid game.
Yeah, how you doing?
Yeah, I definitely do. Like, I feel like for the most part, which is always like the thing you kind of got to gauge, right? The better player winning. You know, you always have to like think about that when it comes to a lot of games. Like, do I feel like the better player wins? Okay. So in Dragon Ball Z, I definitely feel that way. Like, again, like a lot of people's problems with it is like the whole dragon rushing feeling a little weird as like a grab mechanic. Sometimes you feel like tech to grab, but no one actually really knows. And then the super dash feature, which is a really cool feature, you know, but it just feels a little abused. It's too powerful as a tool, because you're taking away the neutral aspect of a fighting game, which neutral is almost the biggest thing when it comes to playing any game. Yeah. And you know, so that kind of eliminates it. It forces situations, and again, that's like really my only gripe with the game, right? Tagging is a super dash, which means that tagging is safe. That's actually unheard of.
I think Kazunoko said the same thing, actually. So it's pretty aggressive tagging.
Yeah, like, because people are wondering why the game is so long, right? A lot of people, when you play a versus game, you want the game to be, right now, right? The thought process behind it is like every versus game should be 3 out of 5. Like, now that, because Dragon Ball Z takes way too long, it has to be 2 out of 3, right? Or else the game will last all night. Yeah. But I feel like the only reason that is why that's a problem is because tagging and super dashing is way too abusable. So instead of just like getting in, cleanly hitting your opponent, and then if they make a really dumb mistake, you can punish them for it. They're kind of rewarded for that mistake. So it's like, you know, like, I'm not going to say it's a mistake anymore because now it's safe, but like in any other game, that would be a big issue. Like, right. Oh, you tag, so your character's about to die. You either DHC out or you tag. So it's like, but tagging is safe. It leads to mix-ups. And if you get a hit, you get full combo. That's like, it's really unheard of. So it's like, you know, so I'd probably give it like, gameplay-wise, maybe like 7 out of 10. You know, like it has that. It's right there. Like it's about to be like the greatest game ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I feel like it's like, just like Infinite, Marvel Infinite, I feel like it's about like a patch or two from just being like just that perfect game.
Wow. I wasn't expecting you to say that. I must admit, because you play a lot of games and I can never tell which ones you love and which ones you don't, because I think you just play them all. That's my perception.
Yeah.
It's like he just plays them all, and he probably hates this one, and maybe he loves this one, and I don't know. But so you actually got a lot of love for Dragon Ball, the actual game itself.
Yeah, I mean it's entertaining. It's pretty. Like there's not much to dislike when it comes to actually like looking at the game.
Looking at the game, it's a beautiful.
Yeah, exactly.
It's absolutely a beautiful game, and I have nothing but respect for Bandai Namco and Arxis for putting it together, and that's how all games should be. Like it should be a finished product. It should be beautiful graphics. It should be attention to detail, good user experience. I was very, very extremely impressed by it, and I think it sort of ruffled a few feathers in regards to other companies within the fighting game community.
I mean, like there's got to be a bar at some point, right? Yeah. You said it. Games have to stop being ugly, and games have to start playing better. I mean, like that's not much to ask for if you really think about it.
It shouldn't be. There's games out there at the moment that whenever a game comes, even just non-fighting games, if they come through and they're like good quality. I saw, for instance, everyone's talking about Spider-Man, right? But I saw Spider-Man. This guy showed when Spider-Man was getting a message and he was talking when he's swinging and when he's standing still. They recorded 2 different voices. One where he's like slightly out of breath, saying the same shit. And one where he's like standing idle, saying the same shit.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool. I didn't even see that.
That's super dope. So I was like, maybe I should just throw money at this game. Like I don't know if I have time to play it, but like I should just reward them. Like
attention to detail.
Yeah, man, it's wild. All right, so let's hone in on Dragon Ball itself. Like, what's your current team?
So right now I play a really weird team: TeenGohan, Tien, and Trunks. So a triple T.
TeenGohan.
Tien, Trunks.
Oh, Tien and Trunks. Sorry, I think you said Tien twice. So TeenGohan and Trunks. Why? I mean, does this relate to... Do we want to talk about the patch first, or...?
Well, okay. So the reason I picked that up is... so my original team, which was 18 Trunks Vegeta, I had a lot of fun with the team, right? But I knew there was like basic flaws that like every team has that my team doesn't, right? Which was like the comeback factor was really low. Vegeta was pretty much the only guy that was outplaying people. The neutral with Android 18 is not really that great. And in Trunks, well, I guess before the patch, his assist was really wonky, basically no hit stun or block stun. And the character itself is just not very good. Yeah. So it's like I got 2 semi-decent characters, if you want to say that, and then Vegeta, right? But it worked. It worked fine at first.
Trunks and 18 2 of your favorite characters from the anime?
Yeah, 17. But
17,
I felt like it just worked out, right?
Okay.
So after the first patch where people complained that Vegeta's assist was too good, and then they made it so you can reflect at any point or you could super dash at any point, that hurt my team really bad.
I bet. Yeah.
Because locking someone down and then going for mix-ups with 18, that was what the premise of the team was supposed to be about. And I realized I couldn't do that at all.
Yeah.
Like just straight at all, right? So Bardock came out. I switched to Bardock, right? Obviously Bardock is cheap. He's broken. He's scrubby. He's literally every word you want to use. But I still felt like Goichi would use Vegeta and Bardock, but I felt like at the end of the day, it still wasn't me. Like even though I was still doing good, I don't know. There's always this thing about me where it's like I don't feel unique, or I feel like I'm not doing my own thing, and I don't want to ever play something where I feel like something is playing for me.
Okay.
Like, okay, get the hit, level 3.
Right.
Run it back, level 3.
I know.
You've seen the 7th level 3 in a row. You're kind of a little tired. Time is going by. You know, it gets a little whack.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, when I heard that the big patch was coming out, I was like, okay, so now we can actually see, you know, if I can use different characters.
Yeah.
So like at the end of the day, you know, I was messing around, and that was it. Like I played TeenGohan on the side.
Yeah.
Along with Tien, my first troll team, because I always have troll teams.
Oh, yeah.
It was Krillin, Ginyu, Tien.
Well, Krillin's supposed to be good now.
Yeah, I actually when I made that big tier list thing, when I broke down everything, yeah, Krillin actually wasn't that low on my list of like when I broke it down like on every level.
Where'd you put Ginyu? Because I heard Ginyu's pretty strong now too.
I actually he's still like semi at the bottom, okay. But I put asterisks like next to his name because he's not playing the same game. Like he plays literally his own game. He doesn't follow any engine. He doesn't follow any laws. He just it's just like whether or not things work out for him. So it's like it's hard to base everything off of like just him as a character when he's not just him. Like it's not like, okay, well, Trunks does this and Trunks does that, and that's it. Trunks sucks. Yeah. It's like Ginyu does this, Ginyu does that, but then he can also do this. Sometimes it leads into that. Yeah. We actually don't know. That might accidentally hit you. Yeah. Like it's just so much things going on where I couldn't base the character off of anything. So TeenGohan was another character I played because I didn't want to use Big Gohan. Mm-hmm. So.
But I love TeenGohan so much because of the Ultra.
The
father-son Kamehameha.
Yeah, like he's a really cool character in terms of like he actually is a freestyle character. Okay. So like freestyle meaning like there's so many different ways to hit your opponent, so many different ways to convert, so many different combos you can do. There's a lot of freestyling. Like so many characters just follow the same premise where, you know, ABC, jump, AB, launch, AB, ABC. Yeah. Like, that's it, right? Everyone has the same combo to level 3. Okay. He barely uses level 3. You know, he actually can't really even use his level 1 unless you're in the corner. There's like so many different things that like he does differently. So his big thing is that he brings you to the corner. His combos are longer than others. You know, it builds more bar than others. He's strong than others. But of course, you know, because he doesn't do the basic thing that others do, like rinse and repeat, just knock up, knock down, level 3, you know, like a lot, it makes people stray away from using the character. But for me, I find that as like my own like hidden like potential. Like I see it in that character where I was like, oh snap, so I can just see so many things happen differently. And it makes me like more excited to play the game and more excited to exactly.
Yeah. So it was TeenGohan, Tien, and
Trunks.
And Trunks, yeah, because you love Trunks, and then Tien. What is Tien for? Like he's good at. Where does he place in your team? Like
okay, so I put him second. Right before the patch hit, I dropped Trunks for Tien. Okay. Because Trunks is just a better character, right? He doesn't actually excel at anything. I guess maybe damage. Yeah. Right? Because he is like a shotgun. That's what he is. But when it comes to like mix-ups, you know, buttons, stuff like that, like you do have the top 5. Okay. So that's like, you know, Cell, the Dull Gohan, you know, 16, whatever. But he's like right underneath that. So, I figured if I'm going to drop a character, it should be a, bottom tier character like Trunks.
Yeah.
I should switch him in for Tien, and it'll round out the team better.
Yeah.
So, but when the patch hit, I realized that I just didn't want to play Vegeta anymore, and I didn't really want to play Bardock anymore.
Nice.
So, so I brought everybody back on. Trunks' assists got super buffed.
Oh, did?
Yeah,
Okay.
and Tien got some really nice buffs himself, mainly the sparking buff, where now when he sparks and does a sparking combo and he's level 3, instead of losing like 10%, no, not even, I think he loses more than that with each shotgun blast. He actually loses, I think, only like 5%. Yeah. So it's like he can kill 2 characters like instantly by himself. So he's a good he's a good anchor. And then of course, the assist buff, I can play neutral better. Yeah. And again, like everything, both those assists help Trunks out. TeenGohan out tremendously. Yeah. And that's it. So I just rolled with it, and. Now you'll get a chance hopefully. Yeah, I was gonna say down here, but I mean,
in a tournament somewhere, you're gonna get a chance to test that team out.
No, Summer Jam. I did win Summer Jam.
Oh,
with the team.
yes, you did. Yes, of course.
I made everybody explode, so it felt really good to have really good synergy.
Explode. That's the new fucking thing, isn't it? That's the meme in
Yeah.
Dragon Ball. That's the
They explode.
They explode. Okay, so right now you're not thinking about making any changes to that team. Like you're like good.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep the team for now. I still haven't perfected it, and honestly, I've been spending hundreds of hours, like I've gotten like 1-touch kills off of any situation now, but there's still like leeway to make more optimized combos. Wow. Yeah, that's why my team right now it's really strong in terms of like, again, like making your opponent explode. So for meter management, meter gain, and damage, they're all like correlated with that team. And that's the biggest part of it. Like if I hit you, can I spark? Can I kill after I spark? Will I gain 4 bars?
You were actually one of the first people to use sparking in that way.
Yeah.
And now that's the meta, right? Like, it was the meta before the patch. I don't know what the new meta is, but certainly it probably still is. Use sparking to kill a character on that 3-character team.
Yeah, like right now, somebody just sent me a video. They tagged me in a video. I haven't learned it yet, but he started the match off with 0 bars DP, Dragon Punch with Gohan, and he killed with it with my team. He did it with my team. Oh. So I was just like, oh snap, 0 bars round start? I was like, oh, that's it. Like there's more to learn, and I love being able to still learn something.
A lot of good players say that. I was talking to Speed Kicks this morning, who plays TeenGohan, right? And he's the same way. He's like, I just want to learn. That's the part that I enjoy the most, is like having the ability to learn and just keep.
There was nothing to learn with Bardock anymore. It was just rinse and repeat. Level 3, did it hit?
No one likes rinse and repeat, right? It's fucking boring. Boring as hell. All right, so talk to me a little bit about the balance patch. Like, did you think they did it well? Do you think it was there's more variety now, or you just think it's just, what do you think about it? Okay,
like I stated a little bit earlier, I still think that this game is like a patch or 2 from being perfect, right? So, of course, there was some, things that were taken out, some things added. Characters just being brought down just a notch, and of course characters being risen a little bit, because technically speaking, all 3 of my characters got buffed.
Yeah.
The big buff with TeenGohan, I forgot to mention, was that when he throws the bomb, the ground bomb, he can dash afterwards. So he can actually go for a high-low mix-up, just making you block. Okay. So that was a big buff,
The meta is still to make people start blocking.
Oh, yeah, no. The meta's still the same. You will block and die. That's just it.
That's it.
But the thing is that what people started to realize is that forcing a situation is too important in this game, right? So with the top-tier characters, like even though Android 16 and the rest of them, they did get nerfed a little bit, when you really break it down, they only need 1 hit. And then they rinse and repeat, and then that's it, you die. Yeah. So you get the hit, Did you get the mix up? Yes.
Yeah.
Did you get the hit following? No. Make them block. Call the assist. Did you get the hit? No. Make them block. You get to call the assist. Did they get hit? Yes. They die. Right. So people are starting to realize that the patch, yes, it makes a little bit, it makes a few more characters more viable, but it just shows you that this is how you need to play the game. Now, I'm trying to play a little differently because I realized that forget trying to get the hit and running it back. Now I just want you to die. So people, like, I'm starting to realize that, and I had made a post about it. I was like, people hated Marvel 3 because of the fact that, you know, you died in one hit, or the fact that you made a comeback and you killed an entire team with sparking, well, X Factor, right? What do you think is happening right now?
I think I saw that post. Yeah, because I think you've often said, you know, like, the people complain about Marvel, but then they don't, and then they praise Dragon Ball, and it's like...
What do you think is happening? You're making a character block, you open them up, you run it back, they die, next character comes in, you run it back, right? They only got 1 assist now, you got 2.
Yeah.
You know, you run it back, get the hit, sparking, they die, then next their third character comes in, and you know, unless it's like Android 16 or a couple of more characters, they're not making a comeback.
Yeah.
You know, like at least, but yeah, again, like that's why everyone's playing 16 and Go Tanks now, because their comeback potential is, you know, pretty high. Yeah. A lot of people now are using Bardock Anchor instead of Bardock Point because they realize, all I really needed to do was just hit you a level 3 and then get the mix up and then you die. Yeah. The next character comes in, I still have sparking, then I hit you, get a level 3.
The game does feel a bit like, you know, I don't play at all at your level, but like that definitely feels a bit like you got to know your roots, you got to know your sparking kills, and you got to know your neutral. And once you get that hit or that force that situation, as you say, then you just go into your muscle memory or whatever the hell it is to make things happen. When you say one patch away from greatness, do you have something in mind? Like,
yeah, just 2 basic things. Just nerf Super Dash. And I'm not saying like nerf it, like make it unusable. Yeah. But the big problem is that like if a character's in the air, you get to Super Dash on them for free. Yeah. If a character's on the ground, right, you can Super Dash. If they didn't react, they have to block that, then block an assist. So now you made a Hail Mary decision of just homing in on your opponent. They didn't do the only option that they have, which is 2H.
2H, yeah.
They're forced to block. You call an assist, and now they have to get mixed up. Like, it's such a weird thing to think about. Like, okay, so you guys are going back and forth and stuff. You're trying to play Street Fighter or Marvel or whatever. Then all of a sudden the guy goes, I'm playing my own game. And you're just like, wait, what? That's why I've always mentioned the Kazunoko technique, which is Super Dash, call Yamcha assist, and I'll take 50-50. Yeah. Now you die. And that's all for blocking a homing attack. Okay. So I feel like that needs to get slowed down a little bit, at least like a few frames, you know, to give an opponent more chance. Like, okay, cool. If you're going to jump, let them Super Dash shoot you all day.
Super Dash should be more risky, basically, for the person doing it. Okay.
And then raw tag.
Okay.
Raw tagging shouldn't be an offensive and a defensive tool.
Okay.
There's no risk to raw tagging. And it's weird because that's an anomaly. Like nobody on this planet would have ever thought they'd play a game where you can switch out characters for free. Yeah. You're not wasting any bar. You're not wasting any meter. You're not wasting anything. The character comes from the sky, comes in homing at the opponent, and if you get a hit, you get full combo. There's no...
So, okay, with those couple of changes, you think this game could be absolutely godlike in your mind?
Yeah, because then people play neutral. You'll be forced to play the actual game. Try to get the hit, not force the hit.
Got it. All right, so we're going to move on from gameplay. I want to ask you more random stuff, actually. Do you have I know you have a lot, by the way, but this is one of my new questions. Do you have an FGC unpopular opinion? You probably have a number, But do you have any at the moment that's top of mind?
FGC unpopular.
I mean, to be honest, you just have opinions. Like most people,
Yeah.
most people will say, "Okay, here's my unpopular opinion. I realize it's unpopular, and I'm just going to put it out there."
Okay. I don't know if it's an opinion or an actual fact. We aren't in esports.
We are.
We aren't.
We aren't.
This isn't esports.
What is esports to you?
Esports. Okay, minus Capcom Cup, the World Tour, right? Not even KI, even though KI had a World Tour and it was big.
Yeah.
It relatively, and I don't even want to be disrespectful by saying this, because the community, the people, everyone works really hard. But I feel like it doesn't matter. So, like, most of these tournaments, people are fighting for a chance at fame or money or whatever their reason is for playing the game, right? Esports is supposed to be the thing that takes you there, right? It's like when I think of esports, I think LCS, freaking CS World Finals, Dota, all these games where confetti falls and you win a tournament. Even if it's a small tournament, you still get thousands of dollars. You get the fame, you get the glory, you get everything, like hundreds of thousands of fans. And let's be real, money. And I'm not even money hungry. Just money to survive. The sponsorships, the greatness. That's the thing. Great. I feel like esports is greatness. Yeah. And I don't know if you saw on Twitter, right? Sorry, Brawler Legs, but I guess I'm gonna, throw this out there.
Oh, we're gonna get into this conversation. Okay, yeah.
But just to sum it up,
thing?
just to sum it up, right? Esports, it's supposed to make you feel like, hey, everybody has a chance of making it big, so on and so forth. You put in the work and blah blah blah. And then I'm just like, okay, cool. You get sponsored, right? Of course, Evil Geniuses, they are perfect, right? They treat me really well. But I see other people, we're not getting anything from the higher ups. So it's like when I win a tournament, it used to feel greater. I used to get paid more. I used to, there used to be way more to get from winning tournaments back then.
Okay.
And it's weird too. Like I'm telling you this now, and you're just like, what do you mean I'm making more money before than I was now?
Yeah.
Yeah, unless it's Street Fighter or a big pop bonus tournament, right? Like NRS, because at least they still do things pretty well.
Yeah.
You're actually not really gonna make much. And so again, like all the FGC players, they got, they barely even scratching 30,000 followers, 20,000 followers. Most of the big names still don't even got 5,000 followers.
Yeah.
It's just it just feels really weird. I don't feel like we are esports yet. We still use the term thuggery very lightly. There's still so many problems. The big issue with me this weekend, that's not esports. I didn't get a chance to, and I honestly felt like I could have gotten the Dragon Ball this weekend. Not necessarily winning the tournament.
This is the radar anyway, right?
Yeah, the radar one. I felt like I could have potentially, got top 3 or 4th or whatever, but still be behind, the top 3 players who already have the ball. Okay. So I felt like I could have made an impact being in top 8 and, showing people, what I've been working on. And of course, even though we're supposed to be in esports, right? World Tour, all this stuff, everything is run smoothly. We got security, so on and so forth. Stuff like this happens. And you can't call that professional. You can't call that esports. You can't call that anything besides what it is. Grassroots confusion.
Because you've talked about a lot of different things there, in terms of, you talked about organization, you talked about what people make in terms of money. You've talked about sponsors, talked about all that stuff. Like,
that's esports. Like, that's the
right,
word.
Right. But like, what is it you think needs to happen for us to be in esports? Do you think fighting games just aren't the type of game that is ever going to be there? Do you think it's a people problem, or do you think it's a game problem, a marketing problem, like an organizational problem, like, or do? Because my question is, like, are we ever going to be up in those leagues? Do people want to play fighting games? Do people want to spectate fighting games in the same way that potentially they feel about, I don't know. I don't know much about League of Legends and shit like that, but I do know sort of Call of Duty and I guess CSGO. I don't play CSGO, but I imagine it's a similar sort of thing. You know, I can understand the spirit of team sports and that sort of the drama that goes on with teams and stuff like that. So I can see that with fighting games, it's a little bit more like less people. The argument is that less people play fighting games because they're hard, right? You play it, you lose, it's your fault. You're done. You play with your friends in like CSGO or Call of Duty, you're in a team, you lose, it's not so bad. You know, like we lost as a team or we won as a team. And you can play badly, you can play well. You can play well or you can play badly, but the results will vary and you'll just keep trundling along. Yeah. Like, so I guess what I'm trying to figure out is, like, do you feel like FGC will ever be at those kind of levels? And if so, what does it need to do to get there?
That is a good question. You know, like, I keep hearing rumors of this League of Legends fighting game, this Riot fighting game. Yeah. Honestly, like, you know, I think about that and I'm just like, okay, so imagine if this new Riot fighting game comes out, right? Mm-hmm. And of course, they have the backing of Riot, right? It's not like Capcom where you kind of question almost anything they do. Not everything they do, but like, you start questioning a lot of things, right? Mm. But, you know, and you're trying to think about it, you're like, imagine all new characters where you get balanced patches all the time, you know, like it gives you incentive to keep playing if tier lists always drop, raise, all sorts of stuff. Mm. You know, there's a tour, there's a lot of money thrown in. Mm. There's everything would feel more fulfilling if, like, you know, like if they gave you that incentive, like, here, play this game, you know, and things, you'll be rewarded for hard work. And yes, when it comes to all these games, you are rewarded to a degree, but it's not like something else. Like, you know, so many people tell me that if I had focused all of my time on League of Legends, I'd be rich, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the assumption, right? And an easier game, right? More rewarding, more money, more fame, more everything, right? So it's like when I think about that, and I'm just like, but I play fighting games, and I love fighting games, like, and again, that question, right? What could we do as a community to reach that level? And honestly, I can't tell you. Maybe we need that Riot fighting game to spice things up and throw money and throw leagues and throw like all sorts of stuff to make things like actually feel like we're doing anything. Right. Maybe tournaments are now going to be at a stadium, or, you know, like things will be different. I can't really say. Don't
know the answer. That's fine. I don't think many people know the answer, but but fair enough. FGC is not esports yet, but I think, you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's interesting to hear you talk about making more money in the past than now, which is wild. I thought more everybody was sort of going up, but you know, I guess that is what it is. So let me ask you, you were just talking passionately about fighting games. And, you know, I was sort of saying, well, some people don't seem to like fighting games, and maybe that's the issue. So why do you love fighting games? You ever thought about that? Because obviously you talked about League of Legends just then. You talked about other games. I'm sure you enjoy other games, but you really love fighting games more than a lot of people. I mean, you complain a lot as well. You're known for that, and you're passionate, but you play a lot of fighting games. Why do you love fighting games in particular?
I think it has to do with, the way I was raised, growing up in New York, blah, 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 blah. Fighting games was an outlet back then. Even when like the internet sensation started coming through and people started playing other games, I didn't have that anyway. So my big thing was going to the arcade.
You go to Chinatown Fair?
Yes,
okay.
that was my thing for years, for countless years, literally up until it closed. And so I would go there for day in, day out, just picking up anything I could, just learning it.
Did you ever feel like this stuff is going to pay off in the future, or it was just like, this makes me feel good? Like, why were you there day in, day out? I mean, I don't want to get too personal. I know maybe it was some family issues or whatever, but like maybe it was an outlet or somewhere to go. But did you ever feel like, I guess what I'm asking is, did you ever feel beyond it being like maybe therapeutic or like whatever it was giving you at the time, did you ever feel like this skill set, this whatever's going on here is going to pay off in the future?
No. If you asked me before, I would have definitely told you no. When I was playing, a lot of it was just like therapeutic, right? So I would just go to the arcade, I would play, use my $5 because that's all I had. Right? Yeah. And, like, I knew about tournaments. I didn't know how big tournaments were back then. Yeah. But, I would just play to learn the game, right? I liked hanging out with the people. Maybe that was it, right? I wanted to meet new people. Yeah. I wanted to, broaden horizons. I wanted to just, step out of my own shell.
Right. And at that time, for you, it was go to Chinatown Fair where they played fighting games as opposed to I'm on my PC playing FPS or whatever. That's just the way it worked. And so...
Yeah, I felt like the person aspect was very important. Like just putting up the quarter itself, losing, having to wait a half an hour to play again. Like I felt like there was, weirdly enough, there's power in that, right? You felt like things were differently. Things were different. You got better. And you were the guy that had to make everybody else wait the half an hour. So a lot of times it just felt like you were just better. And then the more games I picked up, the more better I just felt. Like, okay, I love competition. I just love winning now. And like a lot of the things I just started picking up even more. Like even back then, I used to play a lot of chess. And
oh, you did?
Yeah.
In the park or like with your at home or like?
Oh, I was in a chess club growing up.
Oh, you were?
Yeah. It was like really like whatever, but it was like a ghetto chess club thing. Okay. Yeah, but I like thinking and anything, even Monopoly, just games in general, where it's just like a bunch of people like around you and just playing and everyone laughing, everyone hating each other, whichever thing. Like, but it felt wholesome. Yeah. And like just beating people, competition. I mean, you could just throw that into just me being a guy or whatever. Or I don't know. Like it felt good.
Yeah, more like the social aspect, and I get it. That's awesome, man. Okay, change gears a little bit. I just want to talk about Arc Revo Tour because you play so many different games. Are you interested in the Arc Revo Tour, like Guilty Gear, Blaze Blue, and BB Tag? I think it is. Is that the 3? And then you've got the Dragon Ball Tour. Are you going to play any of those games?
Yeah, okay, so it's weird. BB Tag is the only game I haven't played yet. Really? I have the game. It's weird. I have the game. It's funny. I just haven't picked it up. Okay. But I do want to. And a lot of people are telling me that it is closest to Marvel 3 than even Dragon Ball Z.
Marvel 3? Yeah. Oh, I thought it was close to Marvel 2 because the 2 but never mind. Okay.
But like just the aspect of like jumping around, movement, evasion, that type of thing. Like just trying to like outskill your opponent. I mean, I see a lot of people just dying in one hit or 2 hits, but it does look pretty cool. I mean, I like a bunch of the characters.
So do you think? I mean, do you play Guilty Gear or Blaze Blue?
I do play a little bit of Guilty Gear, not really anymore. But there was a time where I actually like was putting in a lot of work. But nowadays I'm just like, that's just too much right now. It changes, and then I'm just like, all right. I'm
Do you play Tekken or anything like that?
I play a little bit of Tekken as well. Like I dabbled in almost every fighting game.
Yeah.
And when Tekken first came out, like I was actually playing a lot. And yeah, like
the reason I asked that was I was wondering if you're interested in, there's so many new fighting games, but Soul Calibur is another big one. I wasn't sure if that was like it's another 3D game. I wasn't sure if that was something you're interested in.
Yeah, 3D games itself, to me, it's a different ballpark because frame data is kind of everything. Like you have to know when to swing, how fast your swing is. Like there's like always jokes about people doing strings on people and like Tekken. You're blocking 6 button strings and you're just like, when do I what? Like, oh, that's negative whatever. That's not even a thing, like. Any Tekken player will tell you, oh, that guy he would have just lost. But you're getting hit by stuff and you're just like, I don't know what's going on. And that's kind of how I felt when I was learning the game. Like there's just so much knowledge compared to people that's been playing since, the beginning of Tekken. So it's like to me, I am really far back. Like, there'd be too much I need to learn and I'm not gonna do that.
All right, so the other game I wanted to ask you about was Samurai Spirits. Did you play Samurai Showdown? Was that a game you played?
Yeah, I had it for Super Nintendo, and actually, I thought the game was pretty cool. I'm not gonna say I was a huge fan of it, but
there was that whole thing on Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm throwing that out there.
You're not allowed to say that. You're not allowed to say you're a huge fan because
I was a button masher back then.
Yeah.
Hanzo, Nakaruru. Actually, it's funny too because I really like Nakaruru as a character. I used to play her a lot in CVS.
So I guess what I'm getting at is this, right? Like with all these games coming down, you play a lot of games. So which ones do you think you're going to zone in on? Like because the Arc Revo Tour is money. It's a tour. Dragon Ball is a tour. Street Fighter is a tour. So what do you think you're going to be homing in on?
Mostly Dragon Ball Z, unless something changes. I'll be playing Street Fighter on the side. I still feel like I have room for growth in that game. I do want to put more time in, so I'm just going to have to, I guess sort that out myself.
You interested in any of the new characters like Sagat and G?
I played Sagat a little bit. I don't think he's very good. So I'm just not gonna.
I'm talking to Bonchan later, actually.
I'm sorry, Bonchan.
No, I'm gonna ask him. I think he may have the same opinion. We'll see.
And then, I'll try out Samurai Spirits. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully there's support.
Dragon Ball's your game basically at the moment. That's the main thing that you're interested in.
And I just feel like the support aspect. It's kind of important these days. Like, especially since like I picked up Marvel and then. There's a support, so I'm just like, okay, I realize that I have to focus on things that are more important.
Right. Okay. All right. Let's just think about. So, what do you think of the Cooler trailer?
Oh, that's a cool character, actually.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he's like a big ninja. I don't know how he's going to be. He looks like he kind of plays a little big body, and that's not really my thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
we know who's coming next, right?
Oh, 17?
Yeah. So far the leak has been 100%. So our boy, our Tournament of Power 17 and your boy 17 is coming.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try him out regardless. Cooler though. We'll see. I'll try him out. I'm gonna pick him up. If I like him, let's see what he does. But I am more waiting for 17.
All right, let's talk about the anime because that's always fun. Because you're a huge fan, right? So, what's your favorite saga or arc, and why?
I might just go with just Cell Saga because I didn't. Even today, I just don't really like Frieza as a character. Like I feel like they tried too hard to make him the perfect villain. and he's just not. It's really weird. Yeah, cool. He owns everything, but Cell is just a more interesting character. Even to me, he's more interesting as a robot or bug or whatever he is.
I mean, he's cool. He's just a fucking cool character. There's something really cool about his design. There's something really cool about his voice. I mean, I've only heard the dub, but I guess I've only really listened to Cell as the dub. But and then they, online they do all the memes with Cell.
Yeah, exactly. He's a really cool character, and of course, And
the fact that he set up this fucking tournament was just hilarious. I thought that saga was hilarious because he set up a tournament. Because it was just such a weird thing to do. But it was part of that swag,
Yeah, he just wanted to see if he was the perfect thing.
Yeah.
And like seeing Trunks and 17, obviously Android Saga, but they come in, you kind of see how everything ties up, and I felt like they did that really well.
So, all right, so that's your favorite arc. Is your favorite character Trunks?
Yes, Trunks is my favorite
Why?
character. He just reminds me of me.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, his entire character is literally summed up in one word. It's just struggle. He's literally the struggle character. And obviously there's a lot of plot armor with Goku and blah, blah, blah. But, it's like...
You can see it with him. You
can
see the struggle, on his face. When he's there and his seriousness compared to, Goku,
Yeah, exactly. He's there for business, but everyone's still playing around. It's he just told you not to do this stupid thing, and you did the stupid thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like with him, going into Super, he still was the struggle character. It didn't make any sense. It was he's trying to get stronger, but he's still not stronger.
He's still the struggle character, yeah. If you were to have a team, or maybe you've already done it, or no, you haven't. I think maybe you're about to do it. But if you were to pick a team purely based on emotion from the anime, 3 characters, which 3 would they be?
It would instantly be 17 and Trunks. Third character...
Doesn't even have to be in the game.
No, I know. Damn, I feel like those 2 characters are just amazing. But
did you like 17 mainly from Z or from Super?
Oh no, so this is when he was a bad guy up until when he was a good guy.
Oh, you liked him both?
Yeah.
You always liked him. Okay.
Because I like the way he talked. Everything was
the way
just
he
confidence,
talks is,
but it's so soft. He's not. He doesn't need to overextend anything.
I think it's even better when he's a good guy because he's so chill and he's just that when him and 18 get together in Super, in a tournament power, it's they're gonna kick some ass.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
But this time they're gonna do it on the good side. I love that shit. It was so dope.
TeenGohan was that character, but I hated when he turned into an adult. It was just so lackluster. So it's I just couldn't like the character. But a character that I do really like, so I guess it would probably be my third, would be Pycon.
Pycon, yes. A lot of people talk about Pycon. Yeah.
Because he's just gangster and he just comes out of nowhere and he just...
It's true. He does come out of nowhere. He comes out of nowhere and then just...
I don't even know.
Comes out of nowhere and then disappears back into nowhere. Yeah. That would be dope. That sounds like a dope team to me.
Because you kind of want... I feel like the whole Namekian thing and why they're so weak, and even in the tournament power when it was I've been fused with 100 Namekians or whatever the hell number, and you just... Why are you still so weak? I don't know. It just it was so stupid. So to see an actual Namekian just be as strong as Goku, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it would indeed.
They get no love.
So let's get back to fighting games real quick. I just want to ask you, do you have any issues switching between games? Because you play so many different games in such a short period of time. And I fairly recently interviewed Tequila Sage, and one of his big questions he had put out to the community was how the fuck do you switch between games? Because he was playing more games. Is that an issue has that ever been an issue for you? Or did you just grow up being able to switch in the arcade?
It was easier back then, actually.
Okay.
Maybe you could say I've gotten older.
Okay.
Or it could just be like games are a little bit more accessible.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you have to be more on your toes now. As opposed to like back then, you played a little slower. So you could kind of get the vibe more quicker. So in tournament, right, if I was playing, like Street Fighter 4, right?
Yeah.
The game was a slower paced game, right? So even if I wasn't like ready at that exact moment, just the pace will just get me back into it, right? Moving back and forth, just getting the feel again, because you technically didn't have to force anything back then in Street Fighter 4, right? And then going to like Cross Tekken or Injustice or Third Strike even, right? So these games were a little slower, so you can wait a little bit. Marvel 3, right? I'm shooting things so I can just kind of get the feel, for what's going on. But going into nowadays, I don't know whether or not I just got older or the games have gotten easier, but like Dragon Ball Z, right? Perfect example. I'm not ready, right? So what happens? Ready, set, go. The guy super dashes. I have to block. He calls an assist. I actually just lost. So it's just like I wasn't ready at the beginning of the match to like mentally get ready for what he's about to do.
So are you saying that, do you have difficulty switching between games at tournaments when you're playing all these different games?
Okay, so what I do now is, I'm pretty sure a lot of people notice this, but every game that I play, I go straight into button check.
Oh, and warm up.
Yep. So I give myself, that minute, that 2 minutes to just dash around, to move, to get the feel.
I think I've seen you do that, because I think some people have, like commentators are like, "What's going on? What's?"
Oh, I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Because especially if you're going from like stream to stream, it's really hard.
Yeah.
Like, because now you just have to worry about whether or not you won or lost. But especially if you lost, you're trying super hard to not let that carry over. So it's like when I do that, I give myself that minute or two in button check to kind of just like gauge what's about to happen.
All right. Well, there you go, guys. You got a pro tip there for when you guys are playing multiple games on stream. Now, I want to ask you a couple of deeper questions. One of them is, what does fighting games taught you anything about life? Like, because you learn a lot in fighting games, you overcome a lot of things in fighting games. Is there anything? Do you feel like fighting games have taught you things about life?
Yes, a lot of it. Friendship, betrayal. Like my best friend was Nelson, who passed away. I even moved up in with him. So like, there was a lot of FGC factor in that. I joined EMP because technically we were all just cool.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like a lot of the people that I met that I'm still cool with came from the FGC. And I feel like that teaches you a lot, because I don't know how it is in other scenes, in other games or in other states or whatever, but in the New York FGC, it was more struggle. It was a little bit more real. And what I mean by that was that like every one of us was struggling. Every one of us, had our own problems. All of us were dealing with our own thing. So, it didn't matter. Like, we didn't talk about that at all. So it was just like, yo, what up? Let's play some games. Let's chill. Let's drink. Time to go back to hating myself after I leave.
Okay.
But none of that mattered while you were there, with these people. So I just feel like I learned how to, I guess, just live a little.
You had we're going back to that sort of, you had tweeted about sponsorships, and you had done a long thread about, am I a good person or not, and all that sort of stuff. There was a lot of self-reflection there, I guess.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that all? What was that really all about? Like, why did you feel the need to put that out there? What was?
So, I was actually thinking about, like, just I do a lot of thinking. And I actually wrote that. I do a lot of thinking in general because I felt like that was all I could do, right? So a lot of times, you know, when you see me, you actually don't even know what I'm going to do. Like in my mind, it's racing.
Yeah.
It's always racing. I'm always thinking about something. Even when I'm going to sleep, it'll take me over an hour to sleep because my mind is just thinking about everything that's ever happened, that's going to happen, you know, and stuff like that. And, you know, so I forget, something had happened and,
it was the sponsorships conversation. It was.
No, but no, it wasn't even that. Like when I was thinking about it, right? And I was just like, should I write about this? And I was just like, you know what? Nah, whatever, right? So then when I saw the sponsorship thing, right, and I saw how like everyone was reacting and stuff, like, do you deserve this? Do you deserve that? Is this fair? This isn't fair. Life isn't fair.
Right. Life isn't fair. Yeah.
I feel like I work hard.
Yeah.
They don't work hard. She doesn't work hard. Nobody works hard. I'm the best. You suck. You know, stuff like that. I saw a lot of, I guess, envy, jealousy, hate, like everything. Yeah. Like, yes, of course, there's positivity, but you would think it would be just that, right? When you see people make it, when you see people get good things, you know, you feel like that should, you know, bring out like the best in people. But, you know, a lot of times it's the exact opposite. Like you actually might get some hate. And so I said that because, you know, I've been doing this. This is going on years. And my only official team has been EG. Right. So think about all these years of me just floating between local battles, Finger Cramp, Tempo Storm, random sponsor, Evo 2016 that I won, I didn't have a sponsor. All these other people that's helped me throughout the years, all these other sponsors that said they were going to give me things and they didn't. You know, obviously all leading up into EG. You know, like, you guys don't deserve to say anything. You ain't even winners. You don't do anything. You don't stream. None of these people stream. None of these people make content. None of these people travel out of their own dimes. All these people feel like they are owed things for doing mediocre. Right. For being mediocre. For being, you know, like everyone can be greater. But it's like they feel like if they do just enough, that rewards everything. Like, think about all the people before, like, yourself, before them. A lot of these people still didn't make it. A lot of these people still didn't get anything at the end of the day. You know? And the guys I grew up with, they still didn't get anything. They're still struggling, hustling, you know, trying to make ends meet and stuff like that. And I'm just like, meanwhile, I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm still hustling. I'm still grinding. I'm still doing the same thing. Except difference is, I actually win things. And I still was struggling. And I still was hustling. And I was still trying to pay rent. You know, things were still hard for me. And I'm winning. So it's just like, I find that weird when like, a lot of people, they think that, you know, like FGC is some type of thing where it's just like, if you pull in just a little bit, you know, you're going to get a lot. It's like, no, you got to actually stand out. You got to be that person. You got to, you know, again, be the better you. If you want great things, be great. Be a greater person. Just, you know, like anything but complain about another person's opportunity. Okay. So like, I used to do the same thing back then. I used to wonder why life was unfair. Yeah. Why am I winning, but I'm not getting anything? Yeah. You know, and sometimes I still even think about it to this day. I'm just like, I feel like I'm still kind of winning, but why are we still stagnant? Yeah. You know, and like, oh, you could say what ifs and buts, but at the end of the day, you know, I'm still learning how to be better. I'm trying to stay out of trouble. I'm trying to learn how to
be a better person. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like I'm trying to learn how to not write the wrong things or have the, you know, say.
Yeah, your social media is interesting. I should probably manage that for you or something.
Yeah, you know, like I'm trying to do all these things differently because I like at the end of the day, the only person that's getting in trouble, the only person that's not getting these opportunities is myself. Maybe because I said all that messed up stuff is why I'm stuck. Maybe if I went the Justin route, and try to just be as positive as possible, try to help as many people as possible, maybe I'd be in a better place. But again,
so you're just trying to be truthful with yourself and the situation as you see it.
Yes.
And you put it out there.
Yeah, I feel like people need to hear that. Like,
yeah. No, it's true. So we don't have all the time in the world.
Yeah.
You've got somewhere to be. I know that. And I don't want to get in trouble with your girlfriend. So what do you think is the biggest sacrifice you've made? Like as you've been playing, as you've thrown yourself into fighting games in life. Do you feel like you've made sacrifices, or do you feel like it's only been,
I feel honestly every single decision since I was 17 has been a sacrifice.
Okay.
Ever since. I'm 27 now, gonna be 28 soon. And yeah, so when I was 17, I moved out, going to arcades and whatnot. 18, I moved out again, still going to the arcade. 19, what is it? Marvel 3 came out. Was it 2000?
10? 11?
Yeah, I think around there. So from literally then on, everything, that's it. Like, so when I first moved, I had a job, but it was a whack job. And, making minimum wage, working long hours, literally, I'm not going to see anything, moving past, like, just staying stuck there in that one spot. I wasn't going to see any extra money. I was going to see a better raise, better position. Like, everything was just going to be stagnant for me. And
in life, while you focused on video games?
No, not even just focusing on video games. Like, in general, I just felt like life was just so stagnant. I wasn't going anywhere. And to me, I felt like I tried so hard to not be like other people, including my family. I didn't want to make bad decisions. I just wanted to try to do things my own way. I tried to, be great. And like, I guess video games was the only thing that made me feel that way. So it's like when Marvel 3 came out, I won the first few tournaments, and that's it. Like, I gave up my job. Of course, that didn't even really mean anything. But I gave up my job, and I just threw everything into these tournaments.
So you gave up your so as far as sacrifices go, you gave up your security.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? Like, because that's what I mean. Is like, what do you feel like you've missed out on, or you've walked away from in order to pursue this route of video games?
But also on top of that, like, I never had the regular childhood. There was no party phase. There was no pickup girl phase. There was no clubbing. There was no drinking. There was no drugs. I didn't do any of that. So it's just like, from 17 years old, I gave up the next, 6 years of my life just trying to be a better me, trying to make money, trying to just, be something. And, like, I look back on it now, I'm just like, maybe things would have been a little different. Maybe things would have been better if, like, I explored, life. But back then, like, I didn't have anything else. I didn't have anyone else. So it was too hard to enjoy something when who knew when was the next time that was going to happen.
Okay.
So I focused so hard, just tears, sweat, everything into trying to win these tournaments, so that one day, I don't know, something happened. Esports, right? Like,
so basically, the sacrifice for you was life. Like, basically, that was the big sacrifice. Like, you found a home with fighting games. You put your effort into fighting games, and that sort of like childhood, teenhood, young adulthood, or whatever. Those phases that most people go through, you didn't go through because you were focused on fighting games.
No, like, at that age, you shouldn't have so many worries, like a lot of people think it's just school, college, whatever, but I mean, I couldn't go to college, I don't have anybody to feed me, so it's just me, looking out for me.
Yeah.
So of course I was gonna be, you know, a little bit more like angry, you know, looking a little colder, arrogant, whatever you wanted to call me. But at the end of the day, I was just trying to make a living, like just survive, be great. So like something happens in the future, you know?
Yeah. Got it. And I can see why you would certainly want us to be at esports by now. All right, so let's we're gonna finish up because it's been a long time, and we can, you know, both of us can talk forever. And this has been really enlightening. Let's try and end on a happier note. So I want to ask you about some of the fun things that are going on now. Do you play other video games? Any other video games for fun at the moment?
Okay, so I just picked up Octopath.
Oh, is that good?
Yeah, it's actually pretty good right now. I used to play a lot of RPGs growing up.
You did? Okay.
And, you know, fighting games and other games have taken a spotlight off of that. But, you know, it's on the handheld, right? Switch. So, you know, while I'm traveling, I'm going to start, you know, playing the game a lot more. And then other than that, I play League.
Oh, you play League,
okay. Yeah, just whatever.
Okay. And then outside of that, what other stuff are you into? I mean, obviously you got your girlfriend. I'm sure she takes up a lot of time. What else are you into? Like gym, anime, like movies, like I don't know, bike rides. Like what? Give us a little window into that.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get, I guess, back into working out a lot more. I still work out, you know, a few times a week, but you know, I've been traveling like nonstop for the past few months.
A lot going on.
And so I'm really trying to get the schedule thing, which is a big problem for me, just scheduling everything perfectly.
Yeah.
So I am really trying to go back to the gym phase. Other than that, I love music. Music is my life.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, the headphones thing, you know, it was a meme, but it was also real.
Yeah.
Everything that involved me involved music.
Yeah.
Going to movies. Now lately, I have been enjoying life more, you know, so I do go out to a lot more bars. I do go out, you know, exploring and stuff like that.
Good.
So, you know, things are better.
Okay, good. So, do you ever have like a quote or a mantra or a saying that you think of when in life, you know, that pumps you up a little bit when you're potentially feeling, you know, down, or if you're feeling like, you know, my mind's not in the right place right now? Do you have anything like that you go to? Do you like quotes?
I guess it's a little harder question.
It is a hard question. It's I've been coming with the harder questions. Yeah. It doesn't have to be a quote. It can just be a way of life. Like.
Yeah. Okay. So for me, and I tell a lot of people this, I'm like, you're gonna keep losing. Like that's it's not just fighting games. It's a big part of life.
Yeah.
There are gonna be a lot of times where you just won't win anything.
Yeah.
And you know, the whole point is just to keep going at it.
Yeah.
You know, and like for me, like I used to take L's a lot worse than I do now. Like now I can actually laugh it off and stuff like that. But you know, back then I was just like, this means so much, you know, but it bothers me even more than just losing.
Yeah.
Like, so, you know, and that could affect me for freaking hours.
Yeah.
But like nowadays, I'm just like, okay, you know what? I am going to lose. You know, this is going to happen. And I just try to not let that bother me for the rest of the day, for the rest of the night. You know, just try not to be like a party pooper and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And again, I'm just trying to enjoy life a lot more. Okay.
I think that makes sense. The idea of understanding that these things are going to happen, that you are going to lose, failures are going to happen, but you can, I think, you know, to add to that, I think failures you can learn from. That's an important part of life. And like, you know,
just keep going.
Just keep
whatever
going.
you're doing.
Just
like,
keep going, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, learn from the failure. In some ways, you can take it as, I mean, like, I try to take failure as like I want to say opportunity, but like an opportunity to learn. Like, at least I fucking tried. You know, at least I did it. You know,
You were there.
I put my neck on the line. I did it. I put myself out there. You know, great way to finish the interview. I think. I think that's a very positive message for people out there. And I want to say thank you to you. Thank you for your time, man. It's always a pleasure. And we're gonna say goodbye to these guys. So see you guys.
Peace out, guys.